Chicago Bears offseason's kicking off. We're getting more in the swing of things. Coaching staff's pretty much in place. I'm going to break down my 3 favorite free agents for the Chicago Bears. 3 guys that I want the Bears to target. 3 guys that are already, rumored to the Chicago Bears pretty much. Let's start off with Khalil Mack. A return of the Mack to Chicago. He loves Chicago. He has family in Chicago still. He would be 34, but he's got about 2 to 3 seasons of great play left, I believe. The season before, last season, 17 sacks. So he could still play at a high level. He could still be the quality Robin we need for Montez Sweat and just improve this pass rush depth. Could you imagine Montez Sweat and Khalil Mack on both sides? Man. And they're both great against the run. Both elite pass rushers. Still this season, Khalil Mack had 6 sacks, 49 pressures. Still a pretty good season, like I said. So he would fit in very well because he could stop the run. Billings, Dexter, Khalil Mack, Montez Sweat, that's a defensive line you trust. And DeMarcus Walker now is a rotational guy. He could rotate inside and be, a backup defensive end instead of the starting defensive end. I really liked what DeMarcus Walker did towards the end of the season too. So that would give me a lot of confidence about this defensive line. This no longer would be an area that we are concerned about. This would be a really solid defensive line. And Booker having Khalil Mack as a veteran, a guy that could teach him the ropes and teach him some things, that'd be great. And Dennis Allen is our DC now. Khalil Mack played under Dennis Allen with the Raiders, so he's familiar with that scheme. Khalil Mack coming to Chicago. I've seen some people talk about this and say 2-year, $35 million. I'm 100% okay with Khalil Mack coming into the picture. 2 years, like I said, give us 2 years of 6+ sack seasons. I would be 100% in on that. Khalil Mack, people wouldn't have to get rid of their Khalil Mack 52 jerseys from the Bears. So I think he would fit in very well with the Bears. This defense would be even better with Mack on the other side of Montez Sweat. The secondary would be able to play even better. Linebackers, like our run defense, would improve immensely with another edge that can stop the run. So this is the move that the Bears should go after. Draft the edge too in the draft. Another guy that can learn under Khalil Mack, maybe a Mykel Williams. That defense, Mykel Williams, Dexter, Billings, Sweat, and Khalil Mack, Austin Booker, DeMarcus Walker. That's a really good defensive line. That's now a strength. That's one of your best position groups now. So that's what I would do if I'm the Chicago Bears. In free agency, that's a need I would address. One of the next biggest needs the Chicago Bears have is a guard position. The interior offense line for the Bears was terrible last season. Majority of the pressures Caleb faced, a lot of the sacks came from the interior. Our center play was, average, above average. But Tevin Jenkins not being healthy once again. And, what you got from Matt Pryor. Matt Pryor, really good rotational player, but as a starter. Nate Davis, a couple games. There was a lot of struggle at those 2 positions, at those 3 positions. So Trey Smith would be a home run get. This would be like, all right, what we did with Caleb, getting Caleb. It was the obvious choice. We got Caleb. Ben Johnson, obvious candidate. We got him. Trey Smith is the obvious candidate. He's rumored to go to the Chicago Bears. He's rumored to test the market too. The Chiefs, they're probably not going to have enough money to pay him. He's going to get highest paid guard money. And the Chicago Bears need to open the pocketbook. Pay Trey Smith a bag to get him to come to Chicago. There's a lot of connections in Hallis Hall for him. Darnell Wright, he already played with Darnell Wright 2 seasons in Tennessee. He has familiarity with him. They would be on the same side next to each other. Right guard Trey Smith, right tackle Darnell Wright. And Ryan Poles in 2021, when Trey Smith was drafted, he was executive director of player personnel. So he has familiarity with how good Trey Smith is. And this would just be a home run get. Trey Smith in 742 pass blocking reps. He didn't allow a single sack this year. He is one of the best guards in the NFL. He had an all-pro season a couple seasons ago, and he's 25 years old, will be 26, so he fits the timeline with where this roster wants to go, the trajectory of this roster. We're going to have him for a lot of his prime. I would give him a 4-year, $23 million a year. I'd be okay with that. Give him the bag, because imagine having a right side with Darnell Wright, really good tackle, I think, underrated tackle, and Trey Smith at right guard next to him. Those 2, like I said, they already played together in Tennessee. That side of the ball, you would run the ball a lot. Those holes, that would be great, because he's a fantastic run blocker, physical, has all the great traits that we need on our offensive line, plays with just a tenacious tenacious lineman. We see him putting guys on their ass, clearing holes for Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. So this would be a great addition to this Bears offensive line. And Trey Smith, maybe you get a Kevin Zeitler to go on the other side, or Tevin Jenkins. Trey Smith and Tevin Jenkins would be nice. I would really like that, but getting him would sure up a big need for the Chicago Bears. Caleb could step up in the pocket more confidently. I would be all for this. The next free agent I would sign if I was the Chicago Bears is Drew Dalman. This is a center that is rumored to the Chicago Bears as well. Best center available in free agency. Atlanta Falcons center, great run blocker. He's more known for his run blocking. Pass blocking has gotten better over the last couple years. Only allowed 2 sacks this season, 2 penalties, a 79.8 PFF grade for run blocking, and a 66.6 pass blocking grade. He would be a huge upgrade. No more band-aid centers. Lucas Patrick, no more of that. Get an actual center that's a high caliber center. This would be a B+ center, one of the best centers in the league. Maybe bottom top 10, but he's up there. He's a really talented center. I like Ryan Kelly too, but this guy, he's 26 years old. He's a better run blocker. Fits the timeline of where we want to go. We want to be young. We want to add young ascending talent, and Drew Dalman, one of the best centers in the league. Now you look at Trey Smith, Drew Dalman, and whoever you plug in at left guard, your interior offense line is a lot better. And that's what the Bears should do. Let's invest heavily in this offensive line and free agency. Get proven players that are young. Trey Smith, 25 years old. Drew Dalman, 26 years old. Let's address those early so in the draft we can do best player available. We could get a Genti, or we can get, Will Campbell and put him at left tackle, or put him at left guard, and just have an offensive line that's built for the future, a young offensive line that's really fucking good and that can grow with Caleb. So Drew Dalman, really all for that. And in 2023, his overall PFF grade was 82.3, a 53 pass block grade, but it got better. 2024, it went to a 66.6, a 90 run block grade, and allowed 2 sacks, 5 penalties. So the last 2 seasons only given up 4 sacks. We need that kind of presence in the interior. So I would address this offense line heavily in free agency, and then just build the rest in the draft. Build the trenches, the rest in the draft. Just offensive line, defensive line, just talent, weapons all over this team. This team is young. They have a lot of good pieces in the skill position players. We have talent, but offensive line and defensive line needs to be better. So let's address that in free agency and address it in the draft. But let's have a good start to the offseason with free agency. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years, because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.